Somebody got some eye boogers. You can't just lay there every morning. I have to physically pull you out every morning. Hi, baby. That's what I do every single morning. That's Milo's morning routine. His whole mood is like, I'm just gonna be cute and lay there like a loaf of bread. In today's video, I am going to show you a little bit of my plant routine on the weekends. It's currently Saturday. I will show you what I do with all of the plants that I have in semi-hydroponics in between the flush days. That means that I'm topping it off with water. I can show you how simple it really is because I think a lot of people are intimidated by the whole process of semi-hydroponics. So we repotted this big monstera. Oh my goodness. It's a beauty. I'm in love with this leaf. That's why it's facing the outside part. So I did have the other Monstera deliciosa there, the smaller one. My husband helped me repot it. I definitely needed the help with this one because the roots were absolutely insane. It actually took a pretty long time. It's in this large terracotta pot now. It gives it some more height because the other one came up to around here on the table. Now the table is actually useful. I'm gonna start with the honeycomb shells. These are smaller plants. These are all like a 4-inch pot. Well, I usually grab 2, but I'm trying to record, so I need this arm. I'm just gonna grab 1, bring it over to the sink. Let's do this. If you hear a ton of noise, that's Milo eating out of his Kong. Anyways, look at those roots. They're definitely growing at the bottom. At this point, those roots are used to being in the water, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. That's my nutrient reservoir right now, and that's how much water is left. You could just simply add some more water in. So I used to put in pH adjusted water. That is the most ideal because as the nutrient water sits in here, it does rise in pH, but I put in just straight tap water to make the water level rise back up. As you can see when I showed you before, water level is probably around here with the nutrient reservoir, and because it goes down over the week, this is a once a week thing for me. I just add more water back up. So the next week I'll probably do it again, and then the week after that I'll do a flush day. I do have an older video that I pretty much did the same type of flush day in my semi-hydroponic playlist. So at this point, I think I've covered everything. It's nice to do like a refresh in a new environment, right? Oh my goodness, look at that variegation. It's beautiful. Wow. It's doing really well on that wall over there. It looks like it could be kind of dark over there, but it does get a lot of sunlight during the day. As you can see, the plants are happy over there. That's how much water is now in there. So it's like 1/3 level. Back up to the 1/3 level, and then I just plop my plant in there. If it's a larger plant, I will bring over just a cup and fill it up, and I'll show you how I do that too. People ask me all the time, when you pot it up, does the root have to be absolutely on top and not touching the water reservoir? And I've shown several times my way of potting things up, and I'm not precise. I throw a liter of leca in the bottom, I put the plant in, and then I put the balls on top, and then I put in the water level at the 1/3 level, and I haven't had any issues. That's just the way I do it. If you have issues with your first transitions, you might just want to take a look into the way that you've done things. I've done a post on my Instagram pretty recently, basically saying that there are so many variables in it, like your own growing environment, how much light are you giving it, and don't forget everything that you know about plants in soil. Just because you switch the medium doesn't mean that everything else doesn't apply. The humidity conditions in your home, the temperatures, the light. So that's one of them. I am going to continue doing that for the rest of them over here. I feel like a lot of us who do semi-hydroponics do things very differently, and I used to definitely be more diligent with my plant care when I first started. I know through experimentation what my plants really need. Like, I don't have to go through all the extra steps if I don't notice a difference in my plants. I don't regret being as diligent as I was when I first started with semi-hydroponics, because if you're first transitioning a plant, you probably shouldn't just transition transition it and just leave it there and forget about it. The water level it's pretty low in here. Here's another method. You just put it straight through the top. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You just pour water through the top, and if the plant happens to be in a smaller container, it's gonna dry out way faster, just like it would in soil. So if I accidentally forget and I let the water reservoir completely dry out, which I've done several times, it's not the biggest deal. So my plant doesn't look like it's suffering when that happens, because I have a feeling that when I look at it and I see it's completely dry, it probably just dried out. If you let it dry out for too long, just like it would be in soil, it's not gonna be good for the plant. Like, let's say it's been dried out like that for like a couple weeks. It's probably not gonna do too well, considering there's no nutrient reservoir in there, or there's no water in there anymore. And that's pretty much equivalent to just underwatering a plant in soil. I will continue to show you the other plants that I am going to fill up. And I'm gonna do all of them today, all of the semi-hydroponic ones, but I'm not gonna show every single one because it's pretty much the same process. And this takes me pretty much no time at all. A benefit of it is that, I'm saying in general, like with a soil plant, you water it and then you have to let it drain out somewhere and then you put it back to where it goes. This is what the process entails. And I'm gonna put it back. Oh wow, I have this pretty far away from a window, my Philodendron Rio Sport, and it doesn't seem to mind. I have two Adansonii neriforms, and this started from a cutting. I kind of like how crazy it looks on the shelf like this. It's kind of a more sparse one. The other one I have is like really full. Do you see that leaf? It's like 90% white. This variegated syngonium puts out like all white leaves, and then those leaves can't photosynthesize. I have to get rid of the leaf eventually because it's gonna die off. It looks really cool in the meantime, but I need the plant to be more sustainable like that. And just like that, I am already done with all of the plants on the honeycomb shelves in the background there. I am gonna work on this beauty. Oh, look at those roots coming through. I haven't talked about this in a bit, but my trick with pots like this, the nursery pots fits completely snug for this pot. And I just made these pull tabs, literally putting medical tape on both sides so I can pull it out easily. I figured out that trick a while back, like when I first started with this, because I was like, there's gotta be an easier way to try to get this pot out. Oh my goodness. Do you remember the variegated monstera propagation I did? I've shown in the past that it was already rooted and everything, but look at this. This is gonna grow a new leaf right there, and I hope it's gonna be that variegated because that's really white. I can't wait to see what this looks like. That's why I love having variegated plants, because each leaf is a new surprise about like how variegated it's gonna look. Okay. So right now you are sitting on my flower canister angled up on the cap of this camera. So this is like the sketchiest situation. I'm going to be working on this next. This is definitely the star of this plant shelf. Anyways, I have some water here in my big mason jar. And the reason why I don't like to bring this over to the sink is because it's a really long plant, as you can see, and it's just going to get way more tangled than if I were to stand on a chair and just pour some water in. This is my pink syngonium that's not that pink, but I just wanted to show you because this pot is a thrifted monstera pot that I ended up spray painting white. Inside of here, I actually have a yogurt container. Then I have the nursery pot just sitting inside, like so. This fiddly fig, I love when it puts out new leaves, because when it finally does shoot out a new leaf, I feel like the rate of the new leaf growing is really fast. So this looks small, but I feel like it grows pretty quickly right after that. And I've had this in semi-hydroponics for over a year now. And we're good. In here, I've shown the setup before. It's literally a basket that I have lined with a trash bag so it catches extra water, and then a deep saucer in there. And then this pot is just the nursery pot that it came with. I have a video that I'll link at the top if you actually want to see the real setup, because I need an extra set of hands if I wanted to show that. And for all of the plants that I have upstairs in semi-hydroponics, it's the same process. I will just bring that cup around because it makes things a lot easier. My husband's also sleeping, so I'm not going to record this. The flush day, replacing the nutrient water and everything, I think is going to happen next week. But don't quote me on that because I might do it the week after. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.